What if an entire colony of people vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a single mysterious word? More than 400 years ago, over 100 settlers arrived on a remote island, hoping to build a new life. But when help finally returned, the colony was gone, completely abandoned, with no bodies, no signs of struggle, and only one strange clue carved into wood. Today, we explore one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, the disappearance of the Roanoke colony. For centuries, explorers dreamed of building new settlements across the ocean, hoping to create a new life in distant lands. In 1587, a group of about 115 English settlers set sail across the Atlantic Ocean to start a colony on Roanoke Island, located in what is now part of North Carolina in the United States. The expedition was led by John White, who served as the colony's governor. Among the settlers were men, women, and children, all hoping to build homes and farms in this unfamiliar land. Life in the new colony was difficult from the very beginning. Food supplies were limited, the environment was harsh, and relationships with nearby Native American tribes were uncertain. Still, the settlers tried to survive and make their new home work. Not long after the colony was established, the settlers realized they desperately needed more supplies to survive. Because of this, John White agreed to return to England to gather food, tools, and other necessities. Before leaving, he promised the settlers that he would return as quickly as possible. However, his journey did not go as planned. At the time, England became involved in a major conflict with Spain, which delayed travel across the ocean. Because of this war, ships were needed for battle, and White was unable to sail back to Roanoke for nearly 3 years. During that time, the settlers were left alone, struggling to survive without help from their homeland. When John White finally managed to return to Roanoke in 1590, he expected to find the settlers waiting for supplies and support. Instead, he discovered something deeply unsettling. The colony was completely abandoned. There were no people, no signs of life, and no indication of where the settlers had gone. The houses had been carefully taken apart, suggesting the settlers had left in an organized way rather than in panic. There were no signs of fighting, no damaged buildings, and no remains left behind. It was as if the entire colony had simply vanished without leaving a trace. As White searched the empty settlement, he found a single clue carved into a wooden post. The word Croton had been carefully engraved into the wood. This word referred to a nearby island where a friendly Native American tribe once lived. White believed this message might have been left to tell him where the settlers had gone. However, bad weather and dangerous conditions prevented him from traveling to that island to investigate further. Soon after, he was forced to return to England without solving the mystery. Over the years, historians and researchers have suggested many possible explanations for the disappearance of the Roanoke colony. Some believe the settlers may have joined nearby Native American tribes in order to survive. Others think they may have attempted to move to a different location but were unable to survive harsh conditions, disease, or starvation. Another theory suggests that hostile groups may have attacked the colony after White left. However, because there was no clear evidence of violence, this theory remains uncertain. More than 4 centuries later, the fate of the Roanoke settlers remains unknown. Did they join another community to survive? Or did something far darker happen that history has never revealed? Mysteries like this remind us that even in recorded history, there are still secrets waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this journey into history and mystery, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more stories about lost civilizations, unexplained events, and forgotten secrets of the past. And remember, sometimes the past hides mysteries we may never fully understand.